Kevin Gastelum's been on a roll, man. I'm telling you, he's been going through the 185 division. His last loss, I think, was Chris Weidman. But man, Jacare Souzа just came off of the fight. I was actually at the fight, beating Derek Brunson with a knockout, a head kick. It was awesome. I'm gonna go with my man Kevin Gastelum. You know, I'm gonna give it with the smaller 185er. I'm gonna go for him.
I'm going with Gastelum. You know, he might be giving up a little bit of size there, and I'm not crazy about, you know, going to the ground with Jacare. But I mean, Gastelum, he's just a man. I think he's one of those dudes. He's gonna be the uncrowned champ in a while. You know, you see him and Whitaker go at it. I can't wait for that one.
That's a tough one because Kelvin is one of those guys, like, nobody expects him to do this, do that, and then he comes out and, like, I feel like proves them wrong, you know? He's this smaller 85er and from a wrestling background, but knocks guys out. So, you know, he's really interesting. Jacare on the other end, like, he like, everybody thought, like, oh, is Jacare, you know, too old, this, that, whatever. And he comes out and knocks Brunson out again and, you know, like, showed some new tricks, I feel like, to his game. I think the big difference will be the size again, and I think that was apparent in the Weidman fight. You know, Weidman was way bigger than Kelvin. So I think if Kelvin can keep this fight on the feet, I think Kelvin can outstrike him, maybe even put him away, who knows. But I think ultimately if Jacare does get him down, then it'll be Jacare's fight.
Jacare is awesome, and he's got that power, but you know, Kelvin's an awesome grappler himself, and you know, he's got more of the MMA style jiu-jitsu, which kind of is, you know, kryptonite to a lot of these straight jiu-jitsu players who don't like getting punched in the face or are still getting used to punched in the face while trying to shop for submission. So, you know, I think Kelvin's striking is a little bit more explosive, a little bit more accurate. So I honestly have Kelvin winning this one.
Man, definitely Jacare. I think it's just a good game for him, you know, and Kelvin being smaller, you know, being shorter, I think Jacare is just going to put so much power on everything, and I feel like he's going to catch him sooner or later.
Actually, I heard about that. I just forgot about it. Yeah, doesn't bother me. Actually, I just want to see a good fight. I think Gastelum looks better at middleweight. I look forward to facing him because of his stand-up. I want to see where it's at. Well, I know he's going to try and wrestle, and he can see where my wrestling's at. But I don't know. Jacare, he looked good in this last fight as well. He's very stiff, though. Works for him, but I don't know. No prediction. Roll the dice.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Kelvin Gastelum, man. That guy's striking is, like, really precise. He's good with angles and moving in and out with striking. Really good counter strikes, too. He'll pop you. He'll be out for your counter, and then he'll come and counter back. So I think he's just on another level with the striking against Jacare, and he just kind of has to avoid that wrestling game and getting taken down into jiu-jitsu, whereas Jacare's, that's his strength. So I'll go with Kelvin Gastelum by TKO with strikes in that fight.
Jacare win with Derek Brunson last his fight after he have I think problem the shoulder, and now he's back. It's very hard to tell me who will win, but I think the Kevin Gastelum can win the fight and knock him out to Jacare.
Yeah, at this point, it's just Kelvin's really getting the experience and maturing into a great fighter. He surprises the hell out of me sometimes, showing up in a big way against big names. And I think he's just really starting to reach the prime of his career. And then you got Jacare, who's getting older, and you never know when all of a sudden he's just going to kind of fall off the edge here. And, you know, we saw it with Anderson Silva and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with Kelvin on this one.
Man, that's a very interesting fight. Gastelum has looked incredible, man. But Jacare is a monster, and he started off looking slow and like uninterested in his last fight, and then he lands a kick, and boom, that's it. You know, he's a freak of nature. Yeah, no, it's you know, some fights are really toss-ups, but you know, like Gastelum has looked amazing, but he's not a real middleweight, and he struggled against Chris Weidman when he had him on the ground. So I would not be surprised if Jacare submits him, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Gastelum knocks him out. So you know, that's either or for me. So